Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. The way that I'm so inconsistent right now, it's just been so much going on in life. I hope all is well with everybody. I just noticed I still got these little Halloween decorations up that I did for the kids. We're gonna have to get some Christmas decor going on in here for them. You know. But y'all, I'm here to just chit chat with y'all for a minute. Um let's talk about relationships, y'all. Um I can find that on my face. Um, I just think a lot about different type of relationships over the last couple of years, and the last I can't even tell you if it's been just a couple of like the last year or so, but a lot of my Instagram posts, a lot of things have been like posts from other people and things that other people share have just been popping up on my feed. Like things that I need to hear, things I needed to remember, things I need to apply to my life. And I didn't think like I needed to before. I felt like um there was so much healing and so many things that needed to happen within my life um, back in the day, and I didn't get that healing, and I didn't really understand that I needed it as bad as I did. I didn't get the healing, and I didn't admit that I really need this, and my mind was so many places, and I was dealing with so much trauma that, you know, I couldn't sit down to really focus on me. And what I did is I made friendships. I got in relationships. Um, I reconnected with old friendships, and I was just adding to the problem. Um, I allowed other people's problems and other people's ways and things they're dealing with to affect me. And it threw me even further back. It just put me in more of a bad headspace until things went all the way left. It got to the point where I had to leave those friendships alone. They were toxic. Leave the relationships alone. They were toxic. And focus. Now, by this point, I have kids and I have to be better for them because they're innocent in everything. Um, but as I am now, raising my kids, and I got young ladies, I got little girls, they need to know what a woman looks like. They need to know what real love feels like. They need to know what a real friend looks like. They need to be taught about life. There's some things that even though you send your kids off to school, there's things schools are not going to teach them. They're not going to really teach them how to survive out here. They're teaching them math and reading and, science and all these different things, dance, and my kids learn chess and all types of things, poetry. But how to really just survive, how to protect your peace, how to move as a person in this world. you know, you have to have those talks. How to understand the changes of their bodies, because mind you, a child's body is changing at a very early age. Like, it's girls are having their periods, getting boobs, they're needing deodorant now. Them smells are coming in at a very early age. And that's one thing that, I try to stress when I'm making my videos on Instagram to people, is that a lot of times we look at these kids and in certain situations happen, we're like, oh, they're so young and they're moving too fast and they're just kids. But even though you see this kid, or you see this, a lot of times we compare maturity or a certain way a person should look or be by their age, the number. That has nothing to do with, even though they're this little kid, their body is about to start developing like a grown person. So that age don't mean nothing if, this is their body is moving at this rate. You feel me? And they need to be aware of certain things at this point. And a lot of times we just look at the age and, oh, they're babies, they're kids, and we don't have these talks. We don't prepare them at these different stages of their lives. We don't sit down and, think this is necessary. And they need to know these things. Some of these talks need to happen sooner than later. Definitely, even sometimes about relationships and about, things that you're doing as an adult that you may think, oh, this kid don't need to be in nobody's business. And no, but they're watching regardless. They're noticing things. They see things, whether it be you in your relationship with your partner, their parent, their other parent, or if it's somebody new that's not their biological parent. You have to have these conversations about relationships and what these different dynamics look like, because they're curious, whether they see it within their home or they see a friend and that's their dynamic. It's good to have these talks to make sure that your kids are aware of different things. And that's what I'm noticing in my situation. My kids are paying attention. They're paying attention to the different people that come in and out their lives, the different, when they're at different people's houses, they're paying attention to what's going on there and who comes and goes. They're paying attention. So, you got to have those talks with them, even though you think, oh, they're too young. A lot of times we're so busy trying to keep our kids out of certain conversations, and you know, it's just some things you need to speak with them about. And I think the best way to know if they're prepared for certain conversations is just sit down and talk to them and see what they know already, or what they're peeping that's going on around them. That'll let you know, okay, where can I go? Where do I need to start with the conversation with them? What should I speak about to them and put them on to? Or what's okay to speak to them about, now, or whatever. But since I am not with the biological, my kid's biological father, different people are, they are seeing different people, whether it's someone just trying to get my attention and get to know me and talk to me. Sorry, y'all, I'm all like noticing things. Got some stuff on my bed. I'm like, hold on, this wasn't on this. Looks like it's cut. Um, they're noticing different people coming around, or when I'm out, they notice sometimes guys talk to me while they're around me. And, of course, my oldest for sure, like, who is that? Like, what they want. They're very curious about different people. And I have to explain to her different things. and sometimes it's difficult conversations that I need to have sometimes, but I need to have it. Um, and you also want to make sure that if you feel like there were some things as an adult, as a parent, like that you could have handled differently or did differently in your life, and you don't, of course, we don't want our kids to make the same decisions or mistakes. It's going to be some things we can't save them from. They're going to have to experience life. We cannot shield them from every little thing. We cannot. No matter how hard you try to shelter them, that they need to have life experiences. They need to go through some, you know, different experiences in life so they understand. Because there's some things you'll never understand unless you went through it. And then there's some things that you can understand and you don't have to go through it to understand. Like knowing you don't want to be in nobody's jail cell, or knowing you don't want to ever get, you don't ever want to be shot or ever want to be hit by a car, ever want to. It's some things, okay, it's just like common sense. Like, nah, I don't need to go through that to know. I know it's painful. I know it's just certain things. I know it's wrong. I don't have to go do it. So it's just some things like I have to, just by the different situations and things I've been through, the outcome is there of all those different decisions sometimes. And, we could even do things when we're younger and it'll come back to bite you in the ass years later. It'll catch up to you. And it's just different things that we just need to make sure our kids know better. I know a lot of um, since I've been through a lot of hurt, I try my best to not um, have it so that my kids aren't, having to heal from trauma like I am. Um, so I always let them know, like, based off of my decisions, like I'm like, please do better. Whether it's a relationship, know that that wasn't love, or if they see anybody doing some things in their relationships or marriages that they notice in their lives, I'm like, that's not okay. Know that that's not right. And, if ever someone is treating you like this or being this way, whether it's a friend, even a friend, any of their relationships, don't be scared to walk away. Don't be scared to leave that where it is and move on. It's okay. Don't feel like you have to hold on to that, except that fix that. It's not your place. Those people gotta want to be better, and they gotta go seek that help. If they're gonna get help, it's not for you to fix the person. You can support people, but it's not for you to fix them. It's not your job. Um, and like I said, when it comes to, for my little girls, the changes in their bodies, I have to, let them know that. And then they're noticing with me, before that, like, oh, they're like, oh, mommy has boobies or periods, and, oh, why are you using deodorant and lotion or whatever it is that you're doing? They're paying attention down to, how we wash our face or what we put on our, face and brush our teeth. So you just gotta, put them up on that, you know? Let them know how to keep themselves together, and that starts early on, like I said. Um, but yeah, also, you guys, like, if you don't have kids already, please be mindful. Um, I've been saying this a lot now that I've gotten older. I really start analyzing things I've been through and things I've witnessed, and I'm like, it wasn't right. It was wrong. And a lot of things we know and we're taught, it's wrong. There's some things that weren't right, whether it was taught by your parents or your grandparents or so on and so forth, because you got to understand a lot of the generations before us, they only did what they knew. They only did it the best they could, like what they knew, all that they, you can only do what you know. You know, it's like if you weren't taught how to love or shown what love looks like, sometimes you got to learn that you don't know that. And that could be, you could be a grown person and not know what that looks like because you weren't shown that. You weren't shown a real idea of love or a real idea of somebody supporting you, a real idea of being taken care of. As I was this grown individual, like not knowing about having a bank account set up and, you know, just not knowing how to just fill out certain paperwork or, handle certain things because I wasn't set down and taught certain things. Or I was this teenager or this young child even experimenting and having these feelings and developing and everything and not knowing what was going on. Oh, excuse me. My throat itching. Oh, I feel like I got this cough coming back. I had. And I know you haven't found a job, but we are in this together. So we're gonna make it together, okay? I don't want to talk about this right now. You know what? If this is too much for you to deal with, go, Troy. Go. Sorry, y'all. I got fish, and literally they be making all this little noise, like in the water or whatever. But yeah, whew. I don't know why my throat be itching like that. About to choke. But yeah, it was just so many things. I just went into it. Like, I experimented. I learned in the streets because no one sat me down and really had those real conversations. You know, a lot of parents are just sending their kids to school and they're like, hey, I got it covered. My kids are in school, they're learning, I guess. But no one sits down and really prepares you for the other things outside of school that happen in life. You feel me? So if no one teaches you that, you're going to learn on your own or by somebody else. And who knows how they were really taught. You feel me? So it's up to us as parents to do better. And also with each generation, we should be making it easier and easier. I should be getting to a place where it's easier for my kids to, succeed and survive and, be stable and be supported. It's more for them. And then when they have kids, so on and so forth, it shouldn't be harder. It shouldn't be, well, oh, my parents struggled and I'm going to struggle and they're struggling. Y'all got to break those generational curse. So they struggled or their parents used to beat them or not give them freedom to be them or express themselves or find their way. So we keep doing it. Along with, I feel like having kids and, the different generations, you take bits and pieces of what the generations before you taught each other. Like, and then you add your own things to it because your kids aren't the generations before. Each kid, each generation is going to have their own life, their own personality, their own way of taking in things and receiving things and their own outlook. You cannot treat this generation like that generation. You have to sit back just like in a relationship and learn that individual kid, learn that individual person, and that will let you know how to deal with them, how to teach them, how to, you feel me? And that's what I push a lot. Like on my social medias, I'm speaking about those different things now because I feel like that was the reason for a lot of mistakes. And I feel like a lot of the reasons the world is so judgmental and so worried about what other people think and so stuck on giving a certain look for society because of that. Because we keep trying to copy and what we were taught in generations before and what the Bible said and all these different things, and some things you just really gotta kind of just look at your situation and go from there. You can't just base it off of what you were taught or what somebody else said. You gotta just look at how your dynamic is or how your kids are and go from there, because we're all different. We may go through similar things at times and have similar interests or, but we're different. We're different. We're different people. But my whole thing too, like, be be mindful of the decisions that you make. And even though it sucks that some people make the decisions and go through the things they go through in life that may not be the best thing. It's like some things that's unfortunate that people have to go through. But let that be a lesson on your own life. Like, let that be like, okay, I gotta do different. I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to make those decisions. I don't want that outcome. Be mindful. Apply that, to your life to, make sure you don't do that and make those same mistakes if you can avoid it. You feel me? Like, with me, like, I wish I honestly would have been in a better mindset, because there's so many decisions that I made because of my current mood at the time, and I didn't really give myself time to think before I did certain things. So I was making certain decisions and they were really life altering. And it was some things that I just couldn't take back after. And, I just, whether it be my kids now or just strangers, I like to, I live in my truth and I like to just let my mistakes be a lesson for people. Like, I speak because I've been through it, whether it be knowing about abuse or um, a failed relationship or um, just not enough support or whatever it is. I speak from experience. Be mindful though of the relationships that you have with people, whether it be marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend, friendship, work relationships. Like, be mindful. Make sure as you get older, you're mindful of like the relationships you build with people. Let every relationship count. Like, make sure it's a reason why you're talking to that person or they're a part of your lives. Don't just entertain people for the time being. You know, oh, I don't have much to do, so I can talk to this person. I'm wasting time. Like, don't do stuff like that, because every relationship, like, your time is valuable. Every relationship should matter. Either we're doing business together, we're helping each other with different resources, we're um we're starting a relationship, we're getting to know each other, we're trying to build a friendship. um we're here to support each other. Let it matter, let it mean something. Um, and when it comes to your relationships, be mindful, especially if you don't have kids already, be mindful of who you lay down and have kids with. Pay attention to if they have kids prior. Pay attention to the relationships they have with those kids or the moms before that, the baby mamas, the mother of the kids. Pay attention to how people are with their family. Pay attention to how their families are. That's going to tell you a lot too. Are their family loyal? Because a lot of times these people go out here being a certain way because, yeah, their families entertain all that. Their family be the same way. Then sometimes you have people that act a certain way, and whether it be good or bad, but what they learned was out in the streets. They learned from strangers and other people that they had um, come in contact with in their lives, because maybe their family, was like there, but didn't really have those conversations to prepare them for life. Sometimes you have people whose family did everything they could. They tried to give them the best, and they get out on the streets and get with the wrong crowd, and they learn this negative behavior. It's just different things. You got to pay attention to with people. That's where the whole getting to know people comes in at. You got to ask these questions. You got to remember to conversate and talk about these different things with people, and not only hear what they're saying, but pay attention. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention, because people could talk a good game. But also pay attention to, as you're spending time and doing different things with them, pay attention. Be mindful though, because the worst thing you could do right now is like keep creating these broken homes and broken situations, negative situations for the youth. We just kind of a repeated cycle. I see, like, for real. They just, and they're innocent in it all. The youth, they're innocent in it all. So us as adults with more experience, we gotta guide them and prepare them. And like, or those, not even just the youth, just those that have been through some things and have some experiences. It's real helpful to tell your story, and to just, sometimes talk about your experiences, because it'll help somebody else. A lot of times too, people think that it's about always being private or keeping things within the family, being secretive or quiet about certain things. You never know who's listening, who's out to support you, who's out there to help you, who's out there going through the same thing and could use some advice. Don't ever be embarrassed about what you've been through. Don't be embarrassed about your truth. Don't be embarrassed about your testimony. We all are going to go through different things. We all have been challenged. We all got a path that we have to go down. We all have a goal. You got to figure out what that is for you. We all, I feel like, are here to figure out what type of person we're meant to be. What are we? What are our purpose? What's our purpose here? So y'all find your purpose and figure out what type of person that you want to be, and what type of kids you want to raise, what type of energy you want around you in your circle, what type of relationship you want to have, just all those different things. What type of imprint you want, what type of mark or whatever you want to leave in this world, or place in this world, or in the atmosphere. What you doing? But please be mindful, like I said again, because we need to be creating healthier relationships of all kinds out here. Healthy friendships, like I said, family relationships, marriages, um, healthy co-parent relationships, healthy boyfriend and girlfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend, boyfriend and boyfriend, whatever it is. We need to be creating healthier relationships. And we need to talk to people with a purpose. And I want more situations to be blessings for you guys, not a lesson that you had to, not a lesson or something that you have to heal from, or that your kids later will have to heal from. Because a lot of times we do things too, and we assume it's not going to affect the kids, and it does if we're not careful. And be mindful of any decisions too if you have kids or you plan to have kids. It's not just about you when that happens. You cannot be selfish. You cannot go around with a selfish mindset once you have kids, because they're depending on you to survive, to be raised, to be supported, to be guided. So do right by them. None of us asked to be here, honestly. It's generation after generation. Nobody asked, hey, let me be born. Nobody had that choice. You feel me? So do right by your kids. Be mindful of the decisions you make and the people that you allow in your lives, and you know, the things that you do, because it can turn around and whatever outcome that has could affect your kids later or other people around you. So be mindful. Now, I done said a few things up in this video. Um, as always, whatever I speak about, I try to apply that to my life and remember that for myself. I hope that with any of my videos and messages that I put out there, somebody is able to take something from it. Um, but yeah, the just overall message of this video is just like, it starts here with you, of making things right, of making the best decisions you can, of making sure that you are healed and that you get in the right headspace so that you can be better for other people. Be mindful of your decisions, because your outcome could affect other people, not just yourself. Be mindful when you decide to have kids or deciding to bring kids in the future. Um, Decide to have kids or bring kids in the world in the future. Just be mindful. Be mindful of your decisions once you have kids. Um, Whether it be you dating or, you know, where you guys live, who just like everything, because that could affect them. A lot of times as parents, we make decisions and we do it for us. We're like, well, I'm the adult. I know too many parents have made decisions because they thought they was just the adult, and they're like, I'm the adult, and they thought that what they were doing was right, and it affected their kids. the decisions they made, who they choose to date, who, where they choose to move, or whatever they thought. It affected the kid. And then, like I said, that child has to heal from something. Ask yourself, why is the child healing from anything? Be mindful, though. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope everybody stays blessed. Okay, bye.